Hello everyone and welcome to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com, the number one Superman fan site in the world. In this, our January 27th, 2025 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including barrel rolls in a new TV spot for Superman, the upcoming movie. We've got a first photo of Milly Alcock on the set of the upcoming Supergirl movie. We've got the Summer of Superman comic book initiative to talk about. So much to get through tonight, and joining me as always are my two co-hosts. Welcome, Michael Bailey. How are you, Michael?
Doing okay.
Very good. And Mark Lax. Hello, Mark.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
I'm well. Yes, doing well. Thank you both for joining us tonight. We have plenty to get through. We want to thank our sponsors and our patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. Thank you so much to our proud sponsors of this fine show for once again buying us our coffee this week. I've already had mine a little bit earlier because it is scorching. It is over 100 degrees Fahrenheit here in Australia today, 43 degrees Celsius for those who do it our way. So I've got the fan going next to me. Had an iced coffee earlier because there's no way I could drink a hot coffee today. So, but raring to go. Got my caffeine fix, so we are all set for tonight's program. Michael, how's your week been?
Busy. I have been putting the final touches on the series that is starting next week on It All Comes Back to Superman Series 2 called Moving Kryptonian Images. It's going to be a 25-part series and
Ooh, wow.
looking at all of the Superman films. So I've just been editing, doing what some people might call Photoshop. I'm not exactly sure if it would qualify as graphic design. It's more like me finger painting on the computer. But no, just trying to get everything together for that, and so that it stays on the weekly basis that I want it to be on. So carrying all the way into August.
Wow, that's impressive. A lot of planning going on there. And Mark, how have you been?
Oh, been very good. We're finally warming up. We've been, last week was about 10 degrees at best, and I know you're just talking about 100-degree weather, but we were freezing, and we are warming up a bit. So that's good. Just been working. Nothing special really.
Very
Nothing
good.
Too special.
Fair enough. Okay, well, I mentioned our sponsors at the beginning of the show, and if anybody else wants to join those fine folks and be a sponsor of our show, then all they have to do is click the join button there below on YouTube. There are different levels of membership with different levels of perks, or they can go to patreon.com/Superman homepage, where they can also become a sponsor of the show. And if we have time tonight, we also like to take live callers. Michael, how do fans go about being part of the show tonight?
Oh, it's dirt simple. All they have to do is go to supermanhomepage.com/live and press the call now button. And there they'll be put in the little green room and they can watch the show while we're doing it, waiting for them to come on. You can also use your smartphone. Do they call them smartphone? Use your phone. I think everybody knows that if I say use your phone, I'm talking about your cell phone. I don't think anybody's like picking up their rotary dial phone and trying to scan a QR code with it. But you scan that and it takes you right to it. Now, if you are using your computer, please, if you're using an external speaker, you're going to want to put that on mute or switch to headphones because there's a bit of delay. And if you're using your phone, please use your headset or your AirPods or your earbuds or whatever, because every time somebody uses the speakerphone, it just gives this weird crackle.
Yeah,
and I don't understand it, and we've never been able to figure it out.
All right. Now, if you're tuning in live tonight and you are a little bit shy and don't want to get on the phone to talk to us tonight, then feel free to post your comments right there on YouTube and on Facebook. Our Instagram feed stuffed up tonight, so we're just going on Facebook and YouTube tonight. You can post your comments. Michael, Mark, and I can keep an eye on what you're having to say. Answer any questions you might ask, and be involved that way. So feel free to post your comments. If you're on YouTube and you want your comment or question featured live on the screen during the show, that's called a super chat. All you do is click the dollar symbol there. There is a slider that'll appear on your screen. You decide on the dollar amount you're willing to donate, and we'll feature your comment or question live on the screen tonight. So thank you for any donations you might do that way. And that is pretty much it for tonight. Oh, there's also super stickers and super thanks on YouTube if you want to give those a try. All right, let's get into tonight's topics, and we'll start with movie news. And as I mentioned, a new TV spot dropped, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? DC kind of posted a thing on their DC Fan First little mailing list, if you're a part of that, where they let you know that it would be, you could watch it there and then before it dropped to the rest of the world, where it was obviously a scheduled YouTube video that they posted. It's a short TV spot that I think aired during something on TV, something big there that happened over the weekend. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but nevertheless, it's online. It features a couple of new images or video of scenes from the movie. Mainly the Lex Luthor one that we said was showing in different trailers in cinemas or in theaters. And then there was a barrel roll of Superman at the end. I don't know if I'm allowed to play the thing here, but let's have a look. Let's just have a look at the two little bits that are new, because everybody else has seen pretty much the rest of it. It's just edited in different ways. But here's the Lex Luthor part. So that was Lex there coming out with his fancy sunglasses, his snow glasses, coming out of the snow plane, helicopter, whatever it was there that he's exiting. And as I said, we've seen that image. If you'd been watching earlier shows in the past weeks, any thoughts on Lex there?
It's, I guess, a tradition now that Lex has to show up at the fortress in snow gear in a Superman film. I think Jesse Eisenberg's the only one that's bucked that trend. But thankfully, Michael Rosenbaum made up for that in Smallville.
Yes, indeed. Mark, any thoughts?
No, he looks sharp, sharp dressed man.
Yes,
and those glasses, and yeah, I'm not that familiar with Nicholas Hoult as an actor, so just seeing him, I'm kind of seeing him fresh, playing this role, and he looks great.
Yeah. Now here's the part that had a lot of controversy for some reason. For some reason, people have been going off about his face, about his eyes, about this, that, and the other, that it doesn't look normal, that there's something abnormal about his face, that the CGI is off. And then James Gunn, he doesn't need to, but he came out on social media and said that there's nothing, absolutely zero CG in his face. People's faces can look different when you put a wide angle lens up close. The background plate is Svalbard. That's the country that they were in. It's 100% real, as is David. I don't get what people are seeing in this. Is there a bit of, speed? I mean, he's probably going at Mark, whatever he's going at, here. And okay, Superman, his face maybe doesn't move, but we're talking about an actor here. We're talking about, a barrel roll. Is there really anything that strange about his face, about his eyes, that we really need to be that nitpicky here?
It's not surprising because as I like to say, Superman fan's gonna Superman fan, and the problem, I think, is that we've had too much goodwill towards this movie, so now we have to have some requisite vitriol. And like some people say, like other versions did it better, and I'm of the opinion that I take it on a case by case basis when I'm looking at the comments online. If I know the person, I know where their heart is,
Mm-hmm.
basically, and I know that they're coming from a good place. If I don't know the person, I can't make that assumption because people are terrible. But I saw it, and I was just like, holy crap, that cape looks amazing. The yellow S on the back, and it's bright, and against the white, it really pops. And he does the barrel roll, and people are like, well, other flying people have done that. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not the point. The point is that Superman looks great doing a Superman thing. And the face didn't bug me at all. And I guess it just comes down to the fact that I don't obsess over these things like other people do, apparently.
I mean, it's a couple of seconds in a trailer, and people are like bad mouthing that like the movie's going to smash and crash because of it. Like, Mark, thoughts?
Well, after I looked at it under a microscope, I came up with no. When I first saw, actually, to be perfectly honest, when I saw his face like that, I said, "Wow, he looks great. That looks great." And I just love the barrel roll, the whole thing. And I don't know what it is. I think on the one hand, some people just see things in a different way. Other people just want to be negative. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't know what it is. I saw it and I thought it looked great, and I just have no idea. In general, why people are just so up in arms over it, or saying it's bad CGI, or no, it didn't look like that at all. It didn't look like CGI at all. Whatever, it looked good. That's all I can say is I thought his face looked great.
Yeah, Nostalgic Podblast asks the question, G-Force face. And that's what it looked like to me. It just looked like that he was, up against wind, that it was wind in his face, just like his hair moves with the wind. And we've seen that in multiple shots where his hair will move because there's wind and there's other factors. So can he, like, people really, seriously, it's becoming absurd that, we're seeing this level of scrutiny from a TV spot for a couple of seconds, and the amount of negativity is just beyond normal. It just seems, like you said, there are people out there who just want to be negative for the sake of being negative and want to badmouth something because it's either James Gunn, or it's not Henry Cavill, or it's not Zack Snyder, or it's whatever it might be. It's just, yeah, as Tanya said, they all need to calm down.
I love the people comparing it to the poster, which is a completely and utterly fair comparison. I think it's still image compared to a moving one.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it just I don't get it. I think it looked fine. I think that we weren't shown a whole lot of new footage in this ad. I was very happy about that
Mm-hmm.
because it's just kind of reinforcing the things that we saw in the teaser. Especially the shot of him like punching out of that glass cage and all that. And we just got a couple new images, new seconds of footage
Mm.
that is different. And I just, I, there's a part of me that's just like, can everyone just, shut up?
Yeah.
Which is mean. I agree. I will attest to, but it's not that like I want to sit here with rose tinted glasses and
No.
say I just want to enjoy my stories. But at the same time, let's at least see how everything looks in the final product. I thought this was CGI. James Gunn, as you pointed out, came out and said it's not CGI. It's a wide angle lens that is on a super close up of his face. It's going to look different. And it was looking different specifically to kind of give you an idea of what it's like for him to travel that fast.
Mm-hmm.
And on that level, I thought it was a complete success. But I think people are giving it ink because it gets traction that way. It's the first kind of sort of negative thing to come out about the film outside of, all the BS, they had test screenings and people lit the room on fire and, burned down the entire studio because it was just so terrible. That kind of thing. So I think it was just people, you had your Snyder cultists that are just going to hate it no matter what. This movie could come out and cure cancer, and they'd be like, "Yeah, but I still want Henry Cavill as Superman." And then you're going to have people who just don't like the look of the film that are just going to say everything looks bad. That's fine. It really doesn't matter, because I think at the end of the day, this film is going to be amazing, and I think it's going to come the closest, if not being the first Superman film to pop $1 billion at the theater worldwide. I'm making a bold declaration right now. You can hold me to that later, Steve.
There you go. And did you see that Al Roker was very excited about this?
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if people know this. Al Roker, who is the weather guy on the Today Show, is a huge Superman fan. So I was kind of excited to see him, like, really excited for it.
That's good. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a video clip of that segment. They showed it on they showed the TV spot on the TV in part of the the entertainment segment, and Al was going off about crypto being in it and how excited he is about it and how great it looks. So people, it's very easy to get, and we've been discussing here for the last 27 minutes, whatever it is, about the negativity that's out there. And I just, this show, we're not apologists, as you've said many times, Michael. Like, we're not just out there with rose-tinted glasses, saying that everything Superman is fantastic. We've been vocal about things that we don't like, but there's got to be a reason behind it. Don't just come out and say you don't like something without saying why and having some, actual substance to the opinion that you give. People who just post emojis of throwing up faces or what have you without any context, it's just like, go away. Like, actually have some substance to your opinion, or move on, because we don't have time for that kind of negativity. Superman is supposed to be the symbol of hope. This movie is a positive, has a positive vibe to it, and let's give things a chance. Would I have liked to have seen Henry Cavill continue? Yes, definitely. I would have loved. I didn't like the way, we've said it many times, the way that was handled. Henry Cavill was fantastic as Superman. This is a new movie, a new cast, new story, new direction. Let's give David Corenswet the chance that we gave Henry Cavill back then. So let's just be positive, look towards a hopeful future that this can be a great Superman film for all ages, and leave our baggage behind us and not take that with us, because there were fans of George Reeves that didn't want a different Superman, or didn't think that Christopher Reeve was their Superman. Then there was Brandon Routh and Tyler Hoechlin and Dean Cain, and everybody before them has had baggage that they've had to take with them because of the fact that there's been Supermen who have come before them. Let's give each actor and each story the chance that it deserves, because it could be, and it will be, somebody's first Superman film. And it could be the Superman that they grow up with. And each generation will get the Superman that they deserve. And when there's a crossover of generations, that becomes a little bit difficult to swallow. But we just have to be hopeful and look forward.
Yeah, it's funny, because I was thinking back to 2013, and there were people that were negative about about Man of Steel. I'm not saying that like every Superman fan on the planet was really excited. But I didn't see people organizing watch parties of the Christopher Reeve films, on the day Man of Steel came out, like they're doing with the Snyder films with this one. And it's just like, I think what a lot of the Snyder fans specifically that I'm addressing forget is how badly you were treated back in 2013, and now you're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the cycle at some point has to stop.
It won't, because that's human nature.
Fair.
All right. Well, let's move on and have a look at what else is out there at the moment in the world of Superman. And we look at the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow film, where James Gunn released a photo of Milly Alcock on the set of the upcoming Supergirl movie. saying, thrilled to see cameras roll at Warner Brothers Studios Leavesden on Supergirl, with Craig Gillespie at the helm and the phenomenal Milly Alcock as our Kara Zor-El. And really the only, I guess, thing we can take away from this is that Supergirl will be sharing the same shaped S-shield as her cousin. Whether the colouring is different, we don't know, but at least the shape of the shield looks the same from Superman to Supergirl.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy about that too. I like the fact that we're getting a consistent design for the S Shield. And boy, did people just pick up this image and run with it. It's kind of the opposite of the barrel roll. Everyone seemed really excited about it.
Yeah, well, there were people creating phone wallpapers with the S on it and trying to come up with, their version of what the S actually looks like. The only negativity I saw were people thinking that she had red hair or orange hair or whatever. It's like, it's lighting. It's obvious that she's under a red globe there, sitting in whatever, wherever they are on stage. So, people, it's a photo of a woman sitting in a director's chair with an S shield on set. Don't read too much into it, other than the fact that they're starting the film, which is fantastic. And it looks like it's a bar. I don't know what scene that is or where they're at, but, it could just be anything.
It's probably that opening sequence of The Woman of Tomorrow.
Probably, where, at the kind of like that alien bar sequence.
As far as the S is concerned, I mean, I think for the most part, Supergirl's S has traditionally obviously been the same S as Superman. And if we want to go back, you could either do it from, talk about it as the L family crest, mm-hmm. or I guess also, back in the Silver Age when she appeared, she just appeared in his costume because that was the costume he was wearing. Mm. So obviously she had the same S. So I don't see why. I mean, there have been times where Supergirl's S has been a little different. I know during the New 52, it kind of, there were a couple of times that it had changed. I don't know, but traditionally it's been the same. And I don't see why in this point, it would be something different. I'm glad, but like I said, I'm glad it is the same. I'm glad it's consistent.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, New 52 Supergirl was a lot more sharper and had, a different design to the Superman symbol at the time. But, just one thing that we can hang our hat on here is that they have the same design for the S symbol in this continuity. And as you know, DC Studios has set a June 26, 2026 date for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. The fact that James Gunn just used the name Supergirl in his social media posts has some people grasping at whether or not the movie will just be called Supergirl, like we had Superman Legacy changed to just Superman, whether Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow will just become Supergirl. I think that's a bit of a stretch. It's probably just a easier hashtag to put in his social media. So until we hear anything different at this stage, it's still Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. All right, so that is the movie side of things. We are going to take a quick break. It's a little bit early, but we're not at the halfway mark yet, but we have a lot of comic book stuff to get through tonight. So we've also got our end of month super secret soundbite. We've got This Week in History, and we've got the fan favourite segment. So plenty to get through in the second half hour of tonight's program. So let's take an early quick break right now and then get through all that stuff right after these messages. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program, just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/Superman Homepage.
up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bomer. I'm the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
When Lex Luthor unleashes his plan to destroy the world, you can be just like Superman. With a Superman Returns inflato suit, you can pretend to have all the muscles of the Man of Steel. Then, strap on the punch and crush gloves to hear the sound of every punch you throw and everything you crush. Inflato suit accessory, you put it together, batteries not included, punch and crush gloves sold separately. And when trouble hits the skies, you'll be ready with a Fight and Fly FX cape with real flying sounds. This cape responds to every move you make, whether you turn left or right to save the day.
Wonder if the new Superman movie will have such excellent tie-in toys like Superman Returns did. I'm being facetious.
I mean, can we have another Arctic Blast Lex Luthor figure? I really liked from Superman Returns the Lex Luthor on Hoth figure that we got. So I'm thinking, this time he's got to have like the removable sunglasses.
Yes, exactly. Which will be a choking hazard.
Yes, but these aren't for kids anyway. So
no, that's right. You don't take them out of the packaging anyway. All right, let's move into some of our monthly segments. We're going to start with our monthly segment, the Super Secret Soundbite.
Only one thing alive with less than 4 legs can hear this frequency, Superman, and that's you.
All right, the Super Secret Soundbite from last month was this.
Hey, once you master this, we can move up to the Kessel run.
Bonus points for making it in less than 12 parsecs.
So there you have it. That was last month's Super Secret Soundbite. We had quite a few people guess where it was from. Who were they, Michael?
Jeremy Crawford, Alex Davis, Lorenzo Valdez, and Ryan Ignatius Pratt.
Congratulations to those 4 guys for guessing where in the world of Superman that sound came from. It was, of course, from the Season 4 episode of Superman and Lois, which was titled A Perfectly Good Wedding. So well done to those 4 guys for guessing where in the world of Superman that sound came from. Here is the new Super Secret Soundbite for this month.
Clark, I know you're Superman. This is not a big reveal.
Do you think you know where in the world of Superman that sound came from? If you do, head to the Superman homepage website, supermanhomepage.com. Under the contact menu, you will find the Super Secret Soundbite entry form, and all you have to do is fill that out, send your entry in, and we will read out the names of each person who guesses it right when we return to the Super Secret Soundbite segment at the end of February. So make sure you get involved. I said, supermanhomepage.com, contact menu, you'll find the Super Secret Soundbite entry form. Good luck with that. All right, let's move into the fan favorite segment of our show. All right, the fan favorite segment from last week was, what is your favorite Superman phone accessory? We only had one person respond this week. Mark, who was that?
That was J.P. Rocha, who wrote, the one phone accessory I have is a DC Funko Kinder Joy Supergirl. It is very small, but it can hold my phone sideways only.
There you go. So that's a little Supergirl that connects to and holds his phone up. That is super. The size of that Supergirl to hold up the whole phone, that exhibits super strength, super power. So the Kinder Surprise type of toys, the Joy limited edition. There you go. So well done. Thank you, JP, for sending us that as a phone accessory. That is quite cute. Do you guys have any phone accessories other than like wallpapers or whatever, but actual phone accessories?
No.
No, I have to put my phone in an OtterBox because I drop it all the time and I shatter it otherwise. I'm sure I could find like one that has like a Superman symbol on it. But I've got enough stuff that has Superman on it. It's like I am trying to make it my entire personality, but I don't want to make it too obvious that I'm trying to make it my entire personality. So,
too late, Mike.
But no, if but if I could like get an OtterBox that like had the symbol on it on like the back, that would be nice. But still,
very nice. Yeah, I've got this
these
little
things
like
are too expensive
phone stand that my phone kind of just sits in, and it kind of keeps it on my desk in an upright position where if something alerts me, I can kind of just look to it. So that's the only real phone accessory I had. I used to have phone covers, but now I've just got a gel like you, Michael, just more of a protective one, because if I end up dropping my phone, I'll end up breaking the cover that's on it, and that'll be more tragic than breaking the phone itself in some ways. So there you have it. So thank you to JP for sending in his response to our fan favourite question. A little bit of a different fan favourite question this week. Why is Superman your favourite superhero? So a little bit of a deep question here. Like we could be getting into some real...
easiest one we've had.
Yeah, easiest. There no dramas with that one.
We will be devoting the entire episode next week to answering those questions.
Yeah, and we'll have
reading the replies.
We'll have our psychiatrist couch out there as well for everybody to lie down on while we read your answers. So why is Superman your favorite superhero? And the email address to respond to, please keep it to under 100 words, is info@supermanhomepage.com. info@supermanhomepage.com. That's the fan favourite segment. All right, let's jump into This Week in History. Michael Bailey, here is your time to shine.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bonds of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
For about 5 seconds this week, I considered doing this entire segment in my Lane Smith as Perry White voice, but I don't know if I could handle that. So we're just gonna go to 1945 with World's Finest. No, I'm just kidding. World's Finest Comics number 17 with Superman carrying Batman and Robin around on a rickshaw.
You know what? At least it's not Robin dragging Superman and Batman. Like we have seen in some of the other ones where they're making Robin do all the work. At least Superman's actually
that is
something.
Fair. No, that you are not wrong about that. 1955, we have Action Comics number 202, which has Lois with X-ray vision, and that's a really nice Wayne Boring Superman there. Mm-hmm. We also have Adventure Comics number 210. Which I consider to be a classic cover because it introduces Krypto the Superdog, who we are going to see on the big screen this year. So that's very good timing there. 1965, we have Action Comics number, I think that's 220 because I wrote it down wrong, with a really great cover.
322.
210, thank you. 322, thank you.
Yes.
It's a really good cover. Really good Kurt Swan cover. I love this one. And I love the Coward of Steel. It's very dramatic. Adventure Comics number 330, where we once again show that the worst thing you can be under Mort Weisinger as editor is fat. That's just a fact. He was really big about that. And Justice League of America number 34, which has Superman right there on the cover because they finally started doing that. And then we have World's Finest number 148, where Batman and Superman are committing a crime and being chased by the cops. Unfortunately, they are not escaping by rickshaw, which I think was a mistake. 1975, we have Action Comics number 446, which has a really good shirt rip cover. And apparently a Green Arrow and Black Canary backup. One of those backups had Lex Luthor as the villain. Nothing from 1985, shockingly. I was very surprised by that. So we're going to skip to 1995, Adventures of Superman number 521, which brought the Thorn back into the Superman books. Unfortunately, she does not stick around very long. And we also have Steel number 13, which is part of the Maximum Orbit storyline with him teaming up with Maxima. I like that armor. I really do. And in 2005, one book, JLA Classified number 3. And I believe you can find a very overly written review of that, written by me over on the homepage in the reviews. It's because of that I'm glad the site was saved, because I think my reviews were taking up most of the
backup space,
the hard drive space, with the number of words. I thought I was getting paid by I think. In the real world, on January 27th, which is today, is Sophia Hasmek. She was born in 1991. Which makes me feel old. January 29th, Justin Hartley, she played Christy Beppo, of course, on Superman and Lois. Justin Hartley, who was Oliver Queen in Green Arrow on Smallville, was born in 1977. January 30th, Gene Hackman, born in 1930. Lex Luthor himself, the greatest criminal mind of our time. Okay, you both completely let me down on that.
I just said it.
It was very faint. I apologize.
I'm sorry.
And February 1st, Stuart Whitman, who was Jonathan Kent on the Superboy series. Guys, is it me or does he look like Richard Donner?
Yeah, he does.
Yes, he does. Yes.
It's always kind of weirded me out that the guy they hired a guy that looks just like him to play Jonathan Kent. He was born in 1928. And, looking at Gene Hackman in like the early 90s and Stuart Whitman in the early 90s, I think Stuart Whitman had the harder life that Gene Hackman did, because he was only 2 years older than him. And that is This Week in History.
Very cool. Thank you very much for that, Michael. And Gene Hackman is still with us. We're sadly
Stuart
Whitman is
Thanks.
not. So, I've seen photos of him still getting out and about. So, that is impressive in his, 90-something now?
Yeah.
It's like 95, I think.
Wow.
Around there.
So, there you go. Life of a criminal genius is obviously, treating him well. So, there you have it.
Pays off.
Yeah, pays off, definitely. All right, that was This Week in History. So they are our segments done and dusted. We can now look to the world of comic books, where this week DC announced its plans for a Summer of Superman publishing initiative featuring an incredible lineup of comic books and graphic novels for fans of all ages. Summer of Superman will celebrate the Man of Steel in all his glory. Before we get the big splash of the Superman Unlimited, acclaimed writer Dan Slott will join Mark Waid and Joshua Williamson and Jorge Jimenez for the Summer of Superman special, which will arrive on Wednesday, April 16th. Just get some of these images up here for you to have a look at. That's the background that I've got behind me today, is the cover for Summer of Superman special, which, as I said, will arrive on comic book shelves and digital retailers April 16th. It's an oversized issue where we delve into the Slott, Wade, and Williamson will delve into a single story in 3 acts, highlighted by Jimenez's art style. The wedding of Lana Lang and John Henry Irons serves as a backdrop for an outpouring of love and support from family and friends. However, their big day will also be big trouble, as threats from the past, present, and future will spawn major new conflicts for the Superman family. So this will be a 48-page one-shot featuring additional variant covers from a myriad of different artists. So that will also be available in a couple of variant covers, as I said. There's one by Dan Jurgens, of a younger looking Superboy. And then there's a Crypto one, which is a little cute one there as well. Summer of Superman. Michael, your thoughts?
I am so excited for this. I commented on social media when this was announced that it's not like we didn't get anything in 2013. We got Superman Unchained. We've got the All-Star Superman reprint of #1, which apparently we're getting again, which I'm kind of amused about. And, there was like that preview comic by Jerry Ordway, which had Supergirl, which had people like, is that the pod that's open in the movie and all that? But there wasn't really a sense, to me at least, and this could just be my perception, that DC Comics was really behind the movie. Like, they were really pushing Superman. And here, not only are we getting a lot of really cool stuff that we're about to talk about, especially in the solicitations, we're starting with this big special with Jorge Jimenez's artwork, and that's just a stunning image of Superman. I'm just... like, I haven't been this excited for comics, I think, since the beginning of Joshua Williamson's run on Superman. Was really the last time I was this excited.
Very cool. Mark?
I'm very intrigued about a lot of the different images of the Silver Age images that they've shown, and I really I love the multiverse, and I love referring back to things that have happened that aren't mentioned anymore, but in fact are still part of continuity, and these things being thrown up, and time travel, and I love all that kind of stuff. Now I know the story is probably going to be much deeper than that, but not it just everything. I mean, all the names right there, all those names, the writers, the artists are like, how can you go wrong with this? I mean, you really can't. There'll be naysayers. Nothing's perfect, but you just can't go wrong with all this. I mean, this is just going to be. I mean, this is going to be great. I mean, obviously there's a particular reason why we're having the Summer of Superman in the comics, but I'm glad. I'm glad that not only we're having a big, because of the movie, the comics are, all in. No pun intended. You see, all in. They're all, they're all in on this, on the whole Superman world, and I'm just thrilled about it.
Indeed. And Michael, you mentioned the April solicitations. They were also released this past week, and we didn't get too many surprises because of the announcement of the Summer of Superman pretty much already gave us what would be in the April solicitations. But we have Superman number 75 coming out April 23rd. Just as Superman and Superwoman are recovering from their battles with Time Trapper and Doomsday, the biggest problem of all returns when Superman 25 hits comic book shelves on April 23rd. Lex Luthor makes his DC All-In return, and he's ready to fight for control of Supercorp and Metropolis. So that's coming out in April, as is... we've got Superman The World, which we've mentioned previously, June 24th. That one comes out. And then we've got Action Comics number 185 on April 9th. Superman Superstars concludes on April 9th with the release of Action Comics 1085, written by G. Willow Wilson and featuring art by Gavin Guidry. Part 1 of this two-part story is a real job for Superman. Lois sends the Man of Steel to a scientific outpost in the Arctic to investigate a new technology that promises to halt global warming. But when Superman arrives, he quickly finds out that the outpost has been plagued by a villain who plans to melt humanity's hopes for survival. So, a couple of interesting storylines coming out in the April solicitations. So looking forward to those. Any thoughts on a couple of those comics before we move on to some of the other things that I know Michael will be excited to talk about?
Yeah, they said it's the last of the Superman Superstars. This is the first part of a two-parter that's going to end that. Does that mean come August we're getting a new creative team? I mean, has there been any hints about that?
No, there haven't been any hints, but it does sound like, this summer of Superman Superstars, which has been, different writers and artists coming in to tell different stories, will conclude with, you would imagine, a new creative team coming on board after June, I guess, when the June course. April would be the first part and May would be the second part. Then June would hopefully get a new creative team announcement, but I haven't seen any kind of hints as to who might be taking over the reins of Action Comics that would be 1087.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Mark Waid.
Yeah, you would think so, since he's a big part of what the whole summer of Superman's all about. Mark.
Plus we just came off of the huge storyline, that he did in Action Comics. So I would, I would hope so. After, because we've had this Superman All Stars, and then it was interrupted with, I think it was the Mark Waid story and all that. So now we're going back to it. So yeah, you would think once that story is over in the summer of Superman, I would think by August, hopefully a new team will be announced.
We'll keep you posted if anything comes across our news desks with that information. But Michael, Superman, The Death and Return of Superman Compendium. This is coming out. This was solicited in the April solicitations, but it won't be released until 20th of May. Collects Superman number 73 to 83. Anyway, I'm not going to go through it all, but it is 1,368 pages.
I gotta say it just bugs me. That's Doomsday Hunter Prey on the cover. That's not Death of Superman.
True.
But no, I joked that I will be buying this. I will not be taking any other questions during this difficult time. No, it's just my favorite reaction to that was somebody saying you'll finally get to read it. No, I think this is great. I think the compendium. Have you guys picked up any of the compendiums?
No.
Yet?
No.
They're a really good alternative to the omnibuses because they're about $40 usually, as opposed to like $150, and you get the same amount of content. So I think if you're this is one of the most reprinted Superman stories ever at this point, so it's not surprising that we're getting this.
Yeah, very good. And there's some other great omnibus and collected editions coming out or solicited. There's the Golden Age Omnibus Volume 1 2025 edition. There's the Superman Adventures Compendium number 1, which collects all the Superman Adventures stories, and there's Superman Secret Origin 2025 edition. There's the Philip Kennedy Johnson Omnibus, Superman's Pal Jimmy Olsen, Who Killed Jimmy Olsen Deluxe Edition, The Last Days of Lex Luthor. The 3 issues are being collected in a collected edition. We haven't got issues number 2 and 3 yet. Mark's still hanging out to review those a year later. I think the second one.
What's that one?
Yeah, what's that one? My memory is very clouded. Superman Year 1 out, I think, in the next month or two. So they are actually finally getting around to those. But
we'll see.
We'll see. I think it's more Brian Hitch's fault than, Mark Waid wrote them, but I think the artist Brian Hitch has been the problem behind the delays.
See, I've got something on that though.
Yes.
I've got something on that. A buddy of mine was at a convention some time ago, and Hitch said he's got it finished. So he doesn't know why that it's been delayed.
Okay.
So, but that breaking news,
breaking news
from the trenches and all that.
Yeah. So there you have it. That's the April solicitations. You can see the full list of all the Superman things listed in the April solicitations at our website. Yes, Michael.
We're not going to talk about the facsimile edition of Superman 233 coming out.
Yeah, well, I was going through all the lists of them, but there were so many. I skipped over that one.
No, I'm very excited about that. Also, and it was also solicited, and this is significant. There's a Kryptonite Nevermore DC Finest collection.
Mm-hmm.
And what's different about it is it doesn't just collect that storyline. It collects the Action Comics issues from that time period as well, which have never been collected before. And what I'm hoping is that means they're going to be available digitally as well, that you can buy them, for $1.99 a piece. But those were the two that kind of stood out to me as well. We've been wanting more Bronze Age material reprinted. And they're finally getting around to it.
Very cool. All right. Well, that is the comic book side of things. There's been a slew of merchandise stuff I want to touch on quickly here. This got a lot of attention from fans. McFarlane Toys giving us a first look at their new Superman action figure based on the classic 1940s Fleischer animated shorts. This is a new body mold. It's not based on any of the previous ones, which is fantastic because obviously Superman has a kind of different physique compared to the more modern action figures. People are saying maybe the cape could have been a little bit longer to kind of match the Fleischer animated shorts, or shorter, one or the other. I can't remember which it was. I think it's shorter. They were wishing it was a little bit shorter. But yeah, this looks pretty nifty.
I think the only way this could be better is if it came with a Tyler Hoechlin head that you could pop onto it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
And I'm not even kidding about that. No, this is a stunning figure. The head, finally, a Superman head sculpt that doesn't look like a child predator. It's fantastic. I'm just so excited about this figure.
Yeah, pre-orders will begin for this one on January 29th. So make sure you head to the website for that link if you are thinking about purchasing it, because it's a great way to support the website at no extra cost to you when you use our affiliate link to purchase these merchandise items. So, Mark, do you like this one?
Oh, I think it looks great. This one I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah. So that is awesome. On the auction side of things, Heritage Auctions recently sold a Superman #1 trading card from 1940. It sold for an impressive $40,000 US, setting a new record for the card in this condition. This set was 72 cards in this set. Cards 49 to 72 are rarer, but for some reason, but therefore they fetch a higher price. But having a Superman #1 in your collection would be an awesome addition to anybody's Superman collectibles. But this one sold, as I said, for $40,000 US. That is quite a hefty price. Neither of us got it.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. I missed out. I missed out by like the guy just outbid me. Is what happened. Because I'm Mr. Moneybags. I really wish they would re-release these cards.
What would be the harm?
As a set or whatever. I think. I know trading cards are kind of in a weird space right now because they're kind of doing there was apparently a Doctor Strange trading card set from the movie, which I was just like, why?
Yeah.
But I think with the Superman ones re-releasing, like the 1940 Gunn Incorporated ones and the George Reeves series would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They probably make some decent wedge off of it, so
that would be cool. I like that idea. All right. Did we mention the train collectibles, the boxcar trains last week? I don't think we
got to it.
No, I don't think we did. But there are Lionel, the producer of iconic model trains and die-cast race cars, released a new range of superhero boxcars to celebrate the 90th anniversary of DC Comics. There's a Superman one, a Batman one, a Wonder Woman one. That's the Superman one right there. They also have some, what's his name? Thomas Kincaid, DC Trinity boxcars. There's a couple there. There's a Superman Protector of Metropolis. There's also a Lex Luthor Kryptonite elevated tank in the collection as well. There's some of the new ones, but they have more. But Yeah, I mean, I've never been into model trains, but I guess there's probably somebody out there who are an enthusiast of model trains going, I've got to get those.
I'm so amused by the Thomas
Superman
Kincaid.
Returns.
It's not like the train set, Steve.
No, not at all.
It's freaking Gone with the Wind. No, I'm amused by the Thomas Kincaid stuff because it's just this Americana type painter, and we're putting superheroes in the same style. It's just insane to me.
But it looks great. I just think the superhero stuff he's done looks great. I think.
Yeah, they put jigsaw puzzles out with his artwork on them and things like that.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, in a different sort of way. I mean, you take it differently. And I think it looks good,
Yeah.
It's not my favorite superhero. He should be working on one of the comics. No. But I just think some of the stuff...
well, he died back in 2012, so I don't think he's doing much of anything right now.
So he's not going to be doing any comics? Oh, okay.
What a shame.
Never mind.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's entirely possible.
I don't know.
We mentioned last week...
there you go.
There you go.
Look at that.
Got that. Did the unboxing video of the New Zealand Mint's DC 90th Anniversary Golden Age Action Comics #1 Gilded Coin, agoro.com. That is the coin right there. Awesome item. It's sitting in on my shelf here in a prized place so that people can see it. This is valued at $539 US. So I was very chuffed that Agoro sent me that to do an unboxing video, and highly recommend this. So if you are interested in these kind of collectibles, it is that's a good size. It's not like a little coin or anything like previous versions. That's a fair size collectible, and it comes in a really nice like glass acrylic type of display case. So make sure if you're interested in that, you go to agoro.com. It's agoro.com for the gilded coin. Michael, I don't know if you noticed, but we are both listed in the 20 best Superman podcasts that feedspot.com have announced. We've got both the Superman homepage live and speeding bulletins in there. You've got what have you got? You've got in there. It all comes back to Superman is listed in there. And Superman fan podcast. So there's some great. There's Krypton reports in there. Some other of our friends are in there. What else have we got here? Just let me move this. Last Sons of Krypton, the Caped Wonder podcast, Superman the Animated podcast, Superman's Other Pals, the Superman radio series, the Man of Screen podcast. So congratulations to everybody who's been included in the top 20 Superman podcasts that is created and put together by feedspot.com. They sent me an email today to let us know that we've been included in that. So well done.
Very good.
Wow.
Congratulations to you both. To all of us, I guess.
To all of us, yes.
I had no idea.
There you go. Where does Bowers rank?
I did not get the email.
Caped Wonder Superman podcast is number 7 on the list. We're number 2. Krypton Report, well done to them, are number 1. So congratulations to anybody involved in all the podcasts that are listed right there. That pretty much brings us to the end of tonight's show. I want to thank everyone who tuned in this past hour to join us here on Superman Homepage Live. Thank you to my co-hosts, Michael Bailey, Mark Lax. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Steve.
Pleasure
Mike.
as always.
Thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. Thank you for your support. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Your comments are very much appreciated. Give us that thumbs up before you do depart tonight. But we will be back next week on Monday, March 3rd at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for another edition of Superman Homepage Live. We hope you'll join us then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice. On behalf of myself, Michael Bailey and Mark Lax, thanks for joining us here on Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. Good night.